Why, hello there. Today we are going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. So let's get into it right now. So recently I finished Tales of the Celestial Kingdom by Sulin Tan, and that is, I wouldn't say it's a trilogy because it's not. So it is a follow-up with short stories for the Celestial Kingdom duology by Sulin Tan, which was Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior, which I absolutely loved and adored so much. I have standalone reviews for both of those books, which I will link down below in case you want to check those out and are interested. This book returns us to that world, and it gives you stories that kind of explain a little more in depth. You get into more of the myth of the sunbirds from the first book with Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and then some of the backstory in The Heart of the Sun Warrior. And you actually get an epilogue too, going further in. And this series has some of the most beautiful book covers ever, I swear. They're so freaking pretty. And then some of like the book boxes that did special editions of them are even prettier. They're so freaking beautiful. So it's just a short little follow-up. I think there's 9 stories total. I think I read it in like a day. It didn't take me that long. I might even call it a novella because it's definitely under 200 pages, I believe. And I loved returning to that world and getting to see a little bit more behind the scenes and into the stories, into the nooks and crannies. It was quite fantastic. Currently, I am reading a book called Why We Read by Shannon Reed. I saw this at the library and I was like, yes, why do we read? Well, I mean, I know why I read, sort of. There's so many reasons, but I thought a book about that would be lovely. And so far it's quite lovely. She gives her background, working in different schools, talking about her love of reading and her love of libraries and all that. And something like, as a booktuber, obviously we definitely align with. This year I've been trying to read more nonfiction. I wanted to do at least like one a month or shoot for that. And if I don't do it every month, I'm not gonna beat myself up about it, but I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm about 1 chapter in, and it's basically talking about her background and her work history and her love of libraries and just growing up reading and her family, just kind of all of them being readers, and how she's had that love her whole life. And so far it's really fantastic. The next chapter is called How I Choose a Book, a 13-step guide, and I can totally vibe with that because the way I choose the next book I read is all over the place. I've talked about it before in a few videos. Like, I'm so random and I'm such a mood reader. Like, yeah, I'll see something at the library that grabs my attention, such as this book. I saw the title and it was sitting on the new nonfiction area, and I was like, yes, please, because I honestly had not meant to grab another book because I had picked up my holds and I was like, all right, you can only get one more book, which I already had. But then I saw this one and I was like, I need that too. So that's one way, random walk by library. And then other times I'll see something on Instagram quite a bit and it piques my interest, or someone recommends something to me, or I watch a video that I was like, I must read this. You know, there's a million different ways. So I'm curious to see what the next chapter brings with the 13 steps to choosing their next read. That's what I've read. That's what I'm in the middle of. Let me tell you what I'm going to get into very soon. This next book I saw on Instagram, and I love weird books. I like to talk about weird stuff. And I got The Theater of the Mind by Dave Schrader. It's got a creepy black-eyed kid on the cover, and I hate reading about these creepy black-eyed kids. I don't know if you've ever watched anything on any of the paranormal shows and whatnot, but that mythos or those kids freak me the F out. Freaky. Super freaky, and I hate them, and they're probably in this book because there's one on the cover. It's all kinds of creepy stuff on the cover. So let's have some story time with Sen, and we're going to tell you a little bit about it. Also, Dave Schrader, I've talked in the past about going to Michigan Paracon. I've seen him speak several times. He's super entertaining and very funny, and also has a podcast. And I will put a link to that down below if you want to check it out and learn a little bit more about Dave Schrader. But he's been in the paranormal circuit for a long time. Let me tell you about this book. The realms of the ethereal and physical appear to be weaving themselves deeper into one another with the passing of every year. People from around the world are experiencing strange phenomena and encountering creatures of unknown origins in alarming numbers. It's time that we accept that what we consider normal and supernatural are set on a collision course and will finally reveal the proof that we are not alone and never have been. Behind every closet door, and under every bed, in the dark of the forests, in the light of day, in every town and every state of every country around the world, the veils are thinning, and worlds will merge. These are just some of the stories pointing to that inevitability. And yeah, I look forward to getting into this one. Theater of the Mind by Dave Schrader. Aww. Okay, next up we have The Warm Hands of Ghosts. I like that cover a lot. It's very pretty. So, saw that at the library, picked it up. Reason I picked it up is because I've seen it all over Instagram, and yeah, that one of the ways that I'm influenced to just pick up books. And I like ghosty stories. Do I know what this is about? No, I assume ghosts because it has the word ghosts in the title. So let's find out together what we got going on here. January 1918. Laura Ivan was a revered field nurse until she was wounded and discharged from the medical corps, leaving behind a brother still fighting in Flanders. Now home in Halifax, Canada, Laura receives word of Freddie's death in combat, along with his personal effects. But something doesn't make sense. Determined to uncover the truth, Laura returns to Belgium as a volunteer at a private hospital, where she soon hears whispers about haunted trenches and a strange hotelier whose wine gives soldiers the gift of oblivion. Could Freddie have escaped the battlefield only to fall prey to something or someone else? I don't know. Maybe. November 1917. Freddie Ivan awakens after an explosion to find himself trapped in an overturned pillbox with a wounded enemy soldier, a German by the name of Hans Winter. Against all odds, the two form an alliance and succeed in clawing their way out. Unable to bear the thought of returning to the killing fields, especially on opposite sides, they take refuge with a mysterious man who seems to have the power to make the hellscape of the trenches disappear. As shells rain down on Flanders and ghosts move among those yet living, Laura's and Freddie's deepest traumas are reawakened. Now they must decide whether their world is worth salvaging or better left behind entirely. That sounds quite fascinating, and yeah, I look forward to reading that. The Warm Hands of Ghosts. Sorry, it's very shiny. The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. And then we got The Fox Wife by Young-Soo Chu, and I'm super looking forward to reading this. I apologize if I pronounced that name wrong. I am not 100% sure that's how you say it. And this is another one that I was seeing everywhere, and I don't really know much about it, but I love the cover. It's so freaking pretty. And let's have some more story time and tell you what it's about. I don't know why I was yelling at you. We're gonna have a nice, calm reading of what this is about. Maybe I'll get excited and yell at you. I don't know. All right, another early 1900s book. Some people think foxes are similar to ghosts because we go around collecting chi, but nothing could be farther from the truth. We are living creatures, just like you, only usually better looking. Manchuria, 1908. In the last years of the dying empire, a courtesan is found frozen in a doorway. Her death is clouded by rumors of foxes, which are believed to lure people by transforming themselves into beautiful women and handsome men. Bao, a detective with an uncanny ability to sniff out the truth, is hired to uncover the dead woman's identity. Since childhood, Bao has been intrigued by the fox gods, yet they've remained tantalizingly out of reach, until perhaps now. Meanwhile, a family who owns a famous Chinese medicine shop can cure ailments, but can't escape the curse that afflicts them. Their eldest son dies before their 24th birthdays. When a disruptively winsome servant named Snow enters the household, The family's luck seems to change. Or does it? Snow is a creature of many secrets, but most of all, she's a mother seeking vengeance for her lost child. Hunting a murderer. She will follow the trail from northern China to Japan while Bao follows doggedly behind, navigating the myths and misconceptions of fox spirits. Both Snow and Bao will encounter old friends and new foes, even as more deaths occur. That sounds fascinating. I'm pretty excited for this one. So The Fox Wife. I will be reading this one soon. So when I continuously see a book all over the place and everywhere, it piques my curiosity, and if my library has it, there's a good chance I will pick it up. So I did. So that's what I'm going to get into very soon, and all of those I think sound really interesting. I feel like I got a good variety going on. So what have you guys been reading recently? What's caught your eye, and what have you been getting into? Horror, fantasy, nonfiction, romantasy? Let me know down in the comments. I am always curious to hear what everyone's been reading about. Or are you like me, and if you see a book everywhere, are you like, I must find out about it and read it? Because I do that quite often, I feel like. That's my moodiness popping up. I found some great books that way. So if you are a fan of videos where I talk about multiple things I've read or reading, next video coming up will be about that, so stick around, check it out. And if you had fun hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.